one. Blast off. That is so cool. When you're behind the scenes, people, you actually get a countdown. Five, four, three, two, one. This is Linda West. I'm so excited to be here to share with you how to relieve overwhelm in 4 easy steps. I came up with this idea quite a while ago because I got overwhelmed frequently. And I realized what happened was overwhelm because it's like all in our head. And so I came up with this 4-step process. I'm going to share it really fast. And then I'm going to bring on Hannah Knies, and she's going to share with us how she relieves her overwhelm, because it's not about what I do, but it's about different ways that can help different people. I truly believe there's not one way to do anything. And so it's good to hear from other people to find out what they do. So what I do is I have this process. It's called ALTA, A-L-T-A. Now the A stands for alto, which in Spanish means stop. And the reason I didn't come up with S-L-T-A because that sounds like slutta. And I didn't really like that too much. So I replaced the S with an A, ALTA. So ALTA is to stop what you're doing. When you're starting to feel overwhelmed, first thing is to stop. The next thing to do is to listen to yourself and listen to others. Maybe you get advice from others. Listen to what's going on and then write everything down. And this will help relieve a little bit of the pressure, because once you see it on paper, it starts to dissolve and you can see the reality of what you really have going on. Once you've thought about everything and written it all down, then you listen to yourself and to others, what the advice that you got from others. Listen to it, take the golden nuggets from it, and move on to the next step, which is taking action. It's all about taking the action. But now that you've written down the steps and you've written down the things that are overwhelming you, it's time to take action on them one at a time. Or look and see, who can I delegate to? Maybe there's something on your list that the reason you're not doing it is because you're frightened, you don't know how to do it, whatever it is. There could be millions of reasons why you're not doing something, but take action by maybe delegating that. So I'm going to bring on here, we have Aunt Hannah Knies. Hi, Hannah. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Linda. This is so exciting. Thank you for having me.
Well, let me see. I can put your name up there. Let's put our names up there. We want people to know who the heck we are, right?
Yes, please.
So, Hannah, why don't you share with us who you are and what you do, and then what you do to relieve overwhelm?
Well, my name is Hannah Knies. I'm a coach and intuitive reader. And I support strong, heart-centered career women unleashing their potential in order to enable them to really build the career or business of their dreams. And what you said, what you shared about overcoming overwhelm is basically what I do myself. So the first step will always be stop. Stop what you're doing. Hands off, whatever you have your hands on, stop. And to me, the next step would be breathe. Breathe in and out consciously to really get your focus back to your body, because this is the first step of reconnecting with yourself, which you want to do when you are overwhelmed, because then you're all outside of yourself, but not inside of yourself. And you need that reconnection to really be able to decide what is next. So really breathe consciously like 5 times in a row, and then put a hand on your heart and just feel your heart for like 30 seconds. Simply feel your heart to really reconnect to your body and to your essence. And then, just like you said, write down what is in front of you, what you have in your on mind, and what you want to accomplish and to achieve, and then prioritize. What is the most urgent thing you need to do right now, and what else can be delegated or maybe be done the next day or next week or next month? Because it basically what happens when you're overwhelmed, you're deciding from fear, and fear always is about a hurry and a rush, and everything is important right now, which isn't true, in fact. There's always something that is more important than another thing. So just prioritize.
That's true. Figuring out, and actually figuring out what your fear is, right, can help you to, like, what I've noticed is I don't get overwhelmed very often at all anymore. And I used to almost live in a state of overwhelm. And I felt like I was the Tasmanian devil, just spinning all over the place. And when I would finally sit down and write it all out and figure out what were the things that I didn't even need to do, that I was stressed over, oh my gosh, I did a lot of that, where I was just trying to figure out, why am I stressed over this thing? Like, I don't even need to do it, But there was something inside of me And I think it stems a lot from our childhood, a lot of this stuff. And I think there was something in me that just felt like I had to do everything, or like I owned it. Like I owned every single thing that came across my brain, and I had to complete it, or I had to start it, or I had to do something with it, but realized that that's not the case at all. And I'll share with you something I thought was so profound. And for me, it was so necessary for me to hear this. And that was that every idea you have, you don't have to do. I literally thought that every idea I had that I had to do, and I had to do it now. So a friend of mine, she said to me, she said, you know what, you can actually gift your ideas to other people if they're things you don't think you'll ever do or don't think you'll ever start, and instead of having it sit with you all the time, just go ahead and gift it to someone else. And I was like, oh my God, I can give my gifts away, my ideas away. That's so awesome. And then once you give it, you can't own it. You have to give it and let them take and run with it, or give it and let them not do anything with it and be fine with that. Like you have given it away. And that's what I did. I actually had an idea and I gave it to somebody. They loved it. They thought it was amazing and they didn't do anything with it, but I had no ownership to it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the beauty for me, is because in the past, I would have thought, well, they're not doing anything. What's wrong with them? I would have thought that way. But then I realized that it's okay. You can gift something that somebody doesn't use. I don't know. What's your thought on that?
It's amazing. I mean, what you're saying about ownership, I think that's just the core point of it all, because you do not own everything that is inside of your mind. You have to let it go. And the key point is really finding out about what is your responsibility and what are you supposed to do yourself, and what can you delegate, and whom can you ask for help, and what can you give away? Just like you said, I mean, there's so many ideas inside of you. Why not sharing them with others and see where it takes them, if it takes them somewhere or not, and then just let it go. I think it is all about letting go.
Yeah, because overwhelm really is about holding on to things, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So once we can let go and just let go freely and literally just let it go. You don't have to hold on to everything. And you think about, like, if you try to hold on, let's talk about bowling balls. If you try to hold on to every bowling ball in the bowling alley, it's impossible. It's going to weigh you down. Yeah. So if you think about bowling balls in your head, maybe, I don't know. I just came up with that really weird analogy for some reason. Yeah. But if you try to hold a bunch of bowling balls in your head, it's impossible. It's going to weigh you down. Yeah. So get rid of the ones that you can't carry anymore. Get rid of the ones that don't serve you. Yeah. That's really a weird analogy.
The difficulty in this is really trusting. Yeah. Trusting that if you let it go, that it will be fine, it will be okay. And that is the hardest part.
Yeah. So how do you know what to get rid of and what to hold on to?
Sometimes I don't. I mean, sometimes I just don't, because I'm too much involved in everything. And then I simply trust that it will show sooner or later. And to me, it is all about connecting to my heart and then take on that guidance that comes from there. And if I do not know, I just leave it at that and move on anyway. And as soon as I know, I know. Sometimes hard, sometimes easy.
Yeah. Yes, it is hard to know. And then you don't even know if you made the right decision. But here's how I think of it, is that whatever decision I make is the right decision, because it's the right decision at that time. I can't predict the future and what I'm going to learn between now and tomorrow, or now and next week. And so the decisions I make, I have to just be no regrets for them. Just make the decision, move on. And then later I might learn that was a dumb decision, but that's okay, because I learned from it. And I learned how to maybe make a better decision down the line, as long as we're learning, right? As long as we're learning from the things that we do in life.
Exactly.
And that helps with our overwhelm.
You had back then, it was the perfect decision. So there's no wrong decisions or dumb decisions. It's only about, from that point of view you had back then, with the experience you had back then and the knowledge. Is it okay or is it not? And you're going to make the wisest decision you can make.
Yeah, and sometimes I don't make my decisions based on being wise or not. I'll make them based on just being fun, and so, which is good at the time. Life is so short, right? Like, why are we so serious all the time? I love to have a lot of fun and try to have as much fun as I possibly can while also being serious at the same time, which sometimes it crosses over and sometimes it doesn't cross over too well. But, it's like just living my life the way I want to live it, and then being excited for what choices I'm making along that way. And I think once you own up to that and you just realize that you're doing the best you can with the information and the resources that you have, that your overwhelm will lessen. And I'm not saying it will be gone forever. Overwhelm, be gone. It's not like that. But you'll learn how to first of all, you have to recognize that you're in overwhelm, right? And then once you recognize it, that's when you stop. Just stop the world from spinning around you, because it's spinning in here.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, everything else is going on.
Yeah.
But the spinning is in here. That's where the Tasmanian devil's coming in, is in there. And, yeah. I just sometimes feel like that. Like sometimes I feel like I'm literally just spinning around in circles and, attacking everything I'm approaching.
Yeah.
And that's what,
that's just us. We're humans. And I think awareness is the key. Once you become aware of the overwhelm, you're already on a good way to let it go.
Yeah, I totally agree. So do you have any final thoughts for our viewers about overwhelm? Oh, wait. Let's see. It's hard to not be competitive. Okay, so Valerie Fain, here, I'll put this on the screen.
Hey,
Valerie says, hey, Valerie, at least I'll hide these. So it's hard not to be competitive sometimes because of the world we live. Then we're so overwhelmed. Okay. Yeah. And so what's your thought on that, Hannah? Like, how can you maybe not think about it as competitive? Maybe that's...
Yeah. The thing is, you think about it as competitive, but the point is, what do you feel about it? So again, it's about reconnecting to yourself. So can this world be competitive when you feel like you have a place in this world and you serve a purpose? And once you get that, then there's no competition any longer, because it's you serving your purpose no matter what. So again, put a hand on your heart and reconnect to yourself, and then just try to get back to that feeling that it's good that you're here and that you're serving a purpose. And I truly believe that we all are part of this big puzzle, and we're puzzle pieces working together. And there's nobody who's here in vain. So you serve a purpose, you have your mission. So there's no competition, basically.
Yeah, I agree with that. I believe in collaboration and cooperation instead of competition, because if you think about it, even if Hannah and I did the same exact thing, first of all, there's 7 billion people on Earth, and there's no way I could handle all 7 billion, and neither could Hannah. Second of all, Hannah and I have different styles. Even if we can get the same result, we have different styles. Third of all, we all have different personalities, and we have different experiences that we bring to the table. No two people on Earth are alike, not even twins. The second they're born into their own body, and they have different experiences. So I'd like to explain that in a way that, so you have two children, say they're both crying, and only one parent is home. The parent can only take care of one at a time. So the other one is getting neglected while the other one is being taken care of. Then they put that child down, the other one is being neglected while the other one is being taken care of. So you think about it, even twins, and then, or if, say, father picks up one child and mother picks up the other child, it's a different experience, because one's being taken care of by mother and one's being taken care of by father. So just at that very moment that we're born, we have different experiences right at the very beginning. So with that carries whatever baggage that we carry, because we carry baggage everywhere we go, right, from our histories. And so whatever baggage we're carrying is different. And so even if Hannah and I can get you the same exact results, we're going to do it in a different way. We're going to do it in a way that connects with you. I'll connect with some people, and Hannah will connect with others. And that's why I truly believe there's no such thing as competition. Now, products might be different, right? I'm not sure. But services, I don't think there's any competition for those very reasons. And there could be other ones. Are there any other reasons that you can think of, Hannah, for no competition?
It's just exactly how you pointed it out. And I truly believe that is so true. It all comes with your own personal energy, with your background, with your story, with the experience and knowledge and wisdom you've gained, with your approach towards certain things. And so there really isn't a competition. It's all about just you pursuing your path, whether it be in a job or in a business or in private life. It's all about your personality and your uniqueness. So it's really about collaborating and working together.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I just posted the link to join us here live. If you want to pop on board, go ahead and click that link. You should see it in the comments below on Facebook. Okay, so I put it in the comments. And so I see Lolly mentions tapping helps her. Now, I've heard of tapping and I've never used it. I haven't really experienced seeing it, what it means, but I've heard it. So she says if she feels overwhelmed with any emotion, she uses tapping. Now, I'd love to have you ever used tapping, Hannah?
I've never used it on a daily basis. I know about tapping, and recently we had like Colette in our mastermind group. We had Colette share with us a video where she showed it, and I believe it's just an amazing way to also reconnect with yourself and your body, and it calms you down. It helps your nervous system to calm down. So it's a perfect thing to do.
Yeah. So and I don't remember if I pronounced your name right, Layla. If you want to come on board, if you click on the link, we'd love to have you. What will happen is I can bring you up here on the screen. So we have 3 of us up on the same time. And so if you want to join and share with us how you use tapping to help you, because like I said, I've heard of it. I don't think I've ever seen it in action, and neither has Hannah as far as like using it ourselves. And I'd love to have you on board to share that with us. And if not, I totally get it. There's no pressure there. I don't like to pressure people to do things. But I did want to come and talk about overwhelm because I find that majority of my clients will come into one of the mastermind sessions feeling overwhelmed at some point. And every time I have them sit down and we think about it, like I have them just in your head is where the overwhelm is living and just dumping it out. And then within 5 minutes, usually their overwhelm is gone. They feel this sense of relief. I've gotten it out of there. Now let's look at it realistically, logistically, like what do I need to do from this point forward? And then they can think, because when you're in overwhelm, you can't really think. She says, trying. I'll see if I can click in. Oh, darn, hopefully it will work. Let me see. Maybe I have to. See, I have the link there. It can work for me. So hopefully it'll work for you. That'd be awesome. Oh, if you're not on Chrome, because you have to be on Chrome, I believe, for Be Live to work. So yeah, if you're not on Chrome, then it won't work. So are you on Chrome there? This is fun. I love this. This is my first time trying it with doing 3 people style, and it's a different background. And I was going to do it behind the scenes, but something happened this morning. I got all overwhelmed and I couldn't I'm just kidding. I didn't get overwhelmed. So something happened this morning as I was getting set up, and I was like, oh, okay, I don't have time to do it the way I wanted it. And that's another thing. Sometimes our overwhelm is caused by things that we think we need to do or things that we want to do, and we don't really need to do them. And I used to get myself all worked up with things that, I tried to do them and because I really wanted to do them. And then I would go into a spin of overwhelm, like this huge, and realizing that, you know what, I don't need to do that. I just want to do that. And so that makes it different. And then maybe next time I'll be able to do that, and that'll be okay. And maybe next time not, so helping to relieve some of that. And see, on Facebook, maybe next time, happy to share. I lost my brother. Oh gosh, she lost her brother to PTSD. I wish I shared with him tapping. Oh man, I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, gosh. Yeah. Blessing to you and your family. Gosh. So Linda says she's not on Chrome. Yeah. So in order to be able to be a guest on this show, you do have to have Chrome, at least for right now, while Be Live is getting things, figured out, because they're in beta program right now, trying to get all this stuff figured out. It's been really an amazing platform. So if you have a business and you have other people who you can share with your audience, this is a great way to do it. You go to BeLive.tv and join it. It's just an amazing platform. you can share, other people who are in your audience that can help your audience. That's the thing. So like Hannah, I brought her on because she has different experiences with overwhelm, and she can share with my audience how she, gets through her overwhelm. So see, Valerie says, I think a lot of people are really, really overwhelmed. I've seen a lot of people very sad lately. Well, that's interesting. Do you have any thoughts on that, Hannah, as far as maybe, because being sad is different than overwhelm in my mind, but maybe there's a way to get through sadness and to come to the other side. And do you have any thoughts on that? Hate to put you on the spot, but why not?
Yeah, why not? I'm totally fine with it. So when it comes to sadness, I think overwhelm can be a reason for sadness because it makes you feel like you're not good enough. You're not getting everything done. So you end up feeling bad and you end up feeling sad, not doing everything you would like to do or you have to do. So I think that can make you feel sad. And when it comes to sadness, as well as with any other strong emotion you feel, it is so important you accept that it's there. So no sugarcoating, no, I am positive all the time and I'm going to be fine. Like, I have that grin on my face, so nothing's wrong with me. I'm okay. I just function and it's okay. No, please embrace that emotion. It is yours. And most of the time, those strong emotions tell you something. And when you're willing to accept that you feel this emotion, it's very likely that you're going to experience some healing soon. And just accept the sadness and then find out why it's there and what you can change in order to not be sad anymore. So it's kind of a healing process that you can step into. And again, it starts with awareness, being aware of your emotions.
Yeah, that's interesting you said that because I didn't have a response for this. So I was like, hand it over to Hannah, but when you were speaking, what it reminded me of really was when my sister passed away. And I had this tremendous emotion of sadness and loss, and what I did for me, what actually worked was sharing my sadness. Mm-hmm. And it was a way, I didn't share it on Facebook to be out in the public, but it was a great way for me to say, this is what I'm experiencing. This is how I'm feeling. Mm-hmm. And by saying it publicly, for some reason, it helped me so much through the healing process. And if I hadn't done that, I don't know what would have happened because that's what I did. But I'm not sure exactly how I would have handled the sadness because I think I would have bottled it up inside. Mm-hmm. And that's never a good thing to do. Like, we have to experience our emotions, and we're human beings. We have emotions and we have them for a reason. And so if we bottle them up and just let them fester, that's exactly what's going to happen, right? They're going to just fester inside of us and turn into a sickness. Exactly. Just like, yeah. So for me, it helped for me to outwardly emote and to share with people, this is what I'm going through. So if you see me sad, you'll understand why. It wasn't for that reason, but it was just like, I felt like I wanted to connect with the people that I had been connecting with for the last couple of years, especially when I sing happy birthday every day. So I connect with several people every single day just through that one little gesture. And so for me, it was nice to be able to share with everybody and bring them into a part of my world that was showing that, okay, Linda isn't like this all the time. There's stuff in her life that, that she does have real stuff go on. I try to be like this all the time, but I'm not. There are times when I'm down, frustrated, sad, angry, whatever. I have all the emotions. I'm a human being,
Exactly.
So, yeah. So to share that.
Not to share the facade, but share the true you. And just sharing your emotions is a way of feeling them. And it may heal others as well, because when you speak openly about your emotions and the grief process that you're going through, it may help others who are in the same situation, which is great. I mean, because then they feel they're not alone with it. Then they feel there's somebody else experiencing exactly the same thing. And this is such a great thing to do. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you. Thank you. And it's interesting you said that because I didn't do it for that reason. I did it because I felt like I needed to. It was kind of weird. Like, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go on Facebook because I feel like I need to connect with all those people out there. I need to connect with more than just my family because my family is going through the same thing. Mm-hmm. So I felt like I needed to connect with a different kind of energy out there. And it worked so well for me. It was amazing. You know, I felt the love was pouring in from, you know, thousands of people, you know, saw that video and commented, which, oh my gosh, it just helped me so much. And so thank you guys for allowing me to be vulnerable and to put myself out there and to heal myself in that way. You know, otherwise, who knows what would have, I just don't know. I don't know. I'm just glad that's the way I handled it because that's what was best for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm glad you
too. Me too. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, we got Dahlia. Dahlia says hi. We put up there.
Hi.
You guys might not know that spells Dahlia. And absolutely, another amazing, you know, heart-centered person. And that's, you know, one thing about, you know, life, we attract to us who we are. And so when I'm realizing that, you know, by me getting centered in my heart has attracted so many amazingly heart-centered people, you know, you being one of them and the other people here, you know, on the chat here also. And I want to thank you guys so much for being part of my life. And I think being heart-centered has helped me calm down my overwhelm as well, because I come from my heart. When you come from your heart, it can't get wrapped up in here. So when you notice yourself getting wrapped up in here, there's something missing. There's no connection to your heart. And I'm sure Hannah would totally agree with that.
Absolutely. I'm doing this all the time.
Yep. Yeah. She makes those heart connections. Yeah. And she just has this way about connecting you with your heart. And if you know, I highly recommend, if you don't know Hannah, that you definitely reach out to her because she's an amazing woman and can help you get centered in that way. And one day we had a session where I was bawling like, you know, because I had lost touch with my heart and Hannah brought me back. So thank you so much for that, Hannah. I love you so much. I really do. And
love you
and
too.
you know how that's come for me to say that because you know, of my past. And so I'm learning that it's okay to say it out loud, and it's a beautiful thing to say out loud.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So with all that said, I don't want to like cry all over the place. So I'm going to head out now. So everybody have a wonderful, wonderful day. And then, you know, I'm not sure what the next topic will be, but I can't wait to share and bring on some more of my amazing friends that I've met throughout this journey and share with you guys just wonderful people and hopefully helpful information that will help you be able to move forward, get out of whatever it is that's sticking you and have you take action. That's my biggest goal, is to help people to take action and movement towards their goals so that they can reach their goals and then also live that heart-centered, authentic life. So with that said, say bye, Hannah.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.